Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hari 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 Bol. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. So we'll continue with the class now. Let me know when you are all able to see my screen. You're able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. So we'll start the class. So last week we started the discussion. How do I hide this? Can't hide anyway. Yeah. So last week we started discussion about the topic is reincarnation. How is it relevant to our life? Right? And first thing we want to understand is who we are. We exist at 3 level. Our body, our existence is 3 level, multi-level. We are the soul. The soul is our true self, and covering the soul is the subtle body. And subtle body is made of subtle elements. And anybody can tell me what are the components of subtle body? What constitutes the subtle body of us?
Man, Buddhi, Ahankar, Prabhuji.
Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. Yeah. Man means mind. Buddhi is ego. What is Buddhi?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Yeah, intelligence. What is intelligence? What is its function? Let's define it by function. What does intelligence?
Decision making, right?
Decision making. Yes, decision making. Reasoning. Yeah, it helps to reason. Whatever we do, we need reason, right? Many times we get attracted blindly. When we are attracted blindly, what is dominating? There are 2 components within our subtle body. One is mind, one is intelligence. Mind. So we are often affected by feelings in this world, towards things of this world. You see gulab jamun, immediately get attracted. You want to eat it. Pleasure seeking. So that is actually coming from intelligence? Mind. Yeah. So we should know how exactly subtle body works. Then you can actually control the subtle body, right? So the whole discussion is geared towards how we can understand the functioning of our body, and thereby actually appropriately direct us ourselves so that we act, with proper consciousness, right? So we discussed about mind. Mind is what is its function? Mind's function. Last week we discussed.
Mind is the storehouse.
Yeah, mind is the storehouse of all the impressions. Anything you experience in this world through your senses, right? Through your eyes, you see something that goes and stored as an impression. So you remember that. Like you ate a gulab jamun today, you remember the color, you remember the taste, you remember the viscosity. All of that is an impression in your life. Somebody slapped, right? So that is stored as an impression. So next time you see the person, how do you feel? Do you feel good about that? No, you want to just turn away your face. Why? Because you have a negative impression about that. So we have positive impressions and negative impressions all stored in our mind. And once they are stored, mind propels us to do three things. What are the three functions of mind? It thinks and it makes you feel. All the feelings you get in your life is actually propelled by intelligence or mind? Mind. Thinking, feeling, and willing. You want to will to do something. Where is it coming from? Mind. Because mind has all these impressions, it propels you to think, it propels you to feel in this world. Like you see something, you like it, you don't like it, right? Right? And you wanted to do something, because you have that past experience, you want to do it. So all of that is propelled from mind. But suppose you saw a sweet, but unfortunately your health is not good. You have, say, like sugar, right? Or a diabetic. Is it good for you to eat? Is it good for you to eat gulab jamun when you have sugar? No. But what happens? Nobody is around you. You saw a plate of gulab jamun, right? Nobody is around you in the home. And suddenly mind thinks, just pleasure seeking, just only one gulab jamun. And then no more gulab jamun. That's all it will say, right? So who is actually tricking you at the time? Mind. You should know. Mind is different from me. Mind is tricking the soul. Who is experiencing through the mind in this world? The self, the soul is experiencing this world through the mind. So understand this. So you are different from the mind. You may feel like doing, but actually it is actually mind doing that trick. So when you separate yourself from your mind, when you start seeing yourself as being different from your mind, then you can tell your mind, don't do that, don't do this. So you get that only when you can see yourself separate from your mind. You see, this is the trick. So the problem with us is in this world, we have this ego. Ego helps us to identify with our subtle body. Our ego identifies, during the daytime, we identify with our gross body. Anything happens to our body, we think it happened to me, but actually it happened to your body. Body is actually different from you. We don't differentiate like that. Because we completely identify ourselves with our body. And in the sleep time, do you remember your physical body? Anybody here? Answers, please. Do you remember? Are you aware of your physical body when you are in a deep sleep? Please answer. Anyone online? Are we aware of our physical body when we are asleep, deep in sleep?
No.
Yes, we don't. But suppose in your deep sleep, you have a dream that you are flying like a butterfly. What is happening at the time? The idea that you are a butterfly is a reality in sleep. And you don't think it is. Sometimes you feel so pleasure, or sometimes you even fear. A tiger is chasing you in your dream, for example. Do you sweat or not? We sweat. Yeah,
Yes, with it.
we fear. The physical body also has repercussions. So it means the soul is identifying itself fully with what? With the subtle body in the sleep. When you are in the sleep, you are in the sleep mode, it identifies with the subtle body. That's how you experience everything in your dream. Your mind is fully, experiencing the life of a butterfly. If you are a butterfly, or you are say you sometimes we get the dream of levitating in the air. A lot of people get this, because nobody likes to be stuck on the world by forced by the gravity. So your mind makes you feel like you are levitating completely. You are completely in that subtle body. You experience that, right? You feel so much happiness, but actually it is your subtle body that you are identifying with in the dream body. But who are you really then? Are you the subtle body? Are you the butterfly with the in the subtle body, or are you the gross body, the person that you are today, as we see in the daytime? We are, yeah, we are. Both are actually temporary coverings. We are the soul proper, who is the witness of both. You are witnessing yourself as the butterfly in the dream. You are witnessing yourself as the person that, in this world. The only duration is different. The sleep duration is, say, 7 hours, and your, physical body duration is, like, say, 70 years. That's the only difference. But both are actually temporary bodies. The subtle body is the temporary body during the night, and during the daytime, gross body is the body that we identify with. So every day we identify with both our physical body and subtle body. So that's what it happens with our life, right? Now, so we all have this experience. Do you all agree?
Yes, Babuji.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we all, like as last time we discussed, how senses capture all the information and provide to mind. Mind is the central processing unit, and it uses intelligence to basically function in this world, right? To act in this world, right? So generally, for most people, the order of operation is generally senses control the mind. Senses control the mind means sense is attracted to sense objects. For example, you just opened your laptop, right? Suddenly some WhatsApp message popped. What do? Your mind is already turned towards that. Or suddenly, you feel like buying something and you went to Amazon. So many distractions. Objects always attract your attention. So objects attract senses in this world. The normal order of control is the objects attract senses, senses get dragged by it, the sense will drag the mind along with it. So mind will start thinking, feeling, oh, I can eat this fruit like this, or maybe it will make its own plan. Oh, you see some picture, so suddenly there is an advertisement of, say, visiting Rome, right? Suddenly something popped up. People, you will see people happily enjoying in Rome in so and so way. You immediately saw that as an advertisement. What will mind do? Mind will make your hand click that, and you start watching that, and mind will start thinking and feeling how I can enjoy that if I go there. Mind will drag your intelligence. Okay, now what will it say? Go buy the ticket, buy the ticket. It'll push, right? It's a pleasure seeking thing. Mind is a pleasure seeking thing. So now your intelligence has to decide, hey, I have an exam now. I should not even think about this. I should first focus on my exam, finish that, and then, I can plan for holiday. Mind says, no, this is the time. Tomorrow will never come. First go book the ticket, right? So mind will always keep tricking you. So there is always a fight between mind and intelligence. But for most people who do not understand this whole functionality, the order of operation is Senses pull the sense objects, so sense objects pull the senses, senses pull the mind, mind contaminates the intelligence and directs along with it, and people act in this world. So they book the tickets and they plan for it. Then later on, what did I do? Just 1 minute ago, they'll think. Sometimes we act in impulse. We regret later. You know why? We are forced by the mind in those circumstances. You spoke something in anger, and then you regretted a lot. What happened exactly in your life? You are tricked by mind. Mind feels bad and immediately acts. Mind doesn't let you think, right? That's why always take time to think. You should not react in life. Immediate reaction means you're out of control of your senses. When something comes upon you, you immediately act without thinking much, right? Then what does it mean? It means the order of operation is you're very impulsive. Basically, your mind is in full force, in action. Okay? So Bhagavad Gita, what it does to our life is it strengthens our intelligence. Strengthens means it gives the power to make right decisions in life. Hmm? Understanding of your whole existence in totality, who you are, your multi-level existence, how this whole cosmos works, who is in control in all of this. Once you understand all these things, then you have so much knowledge that you operate at a different level. Your intelligence is very strong. So you won't make impulsive decisions just like that. Okay? So um, so mind is a repository of all these, it is a repository of all good as well as bad things. Especially the bad things in our mind are anger, greed, envy, false prestige, right? So these are bad things. And the whole process of yoga is actually to cleanse our mind of these bad, negative things in our mind, right? So when those negative things are taken away, then your mind is absolute clean and it completely acts in your favor, such that you actually go back to God after this lifetime, right? Yeah. So the process for cleansing is, what is the best way to cleanse our mind? Chanting. Yeah. So especially in this age, just by repeating the names of God, one can cleanse the mind of all the negative things of this world, right? So this is the most powerful process to upkeep your mind very clean. Yeah. So if mind is not clean, what happens is mind is like covered with dust, and you can't see your true self. You see, you can't see your true self. You are always, either, always dominated by negative emotions like depression or suicidal thoughts. They're all basically the people just cook so many things in their mind. Negative thinking, right? So negative thinking is because of, uncontrolled mind. So the best solution for them is to cleanse our mind, through wisdom books like Bhagavad Gita, and practice meditation, especially mantra meditation. So these are the process that will help us keep our mind very clean. Just like we eat food every day to strengthen our body, to upkeep our body, we need to cleanse our mind as well on a daily basis. That will upkeep our, mental health. And the best thing for that is chanting the names of God. Yeah. So our human life is very valuable. We should not waste the time that we have. Instead, we should spend the time to cleanse our minds, right? So just like when you are sitting before computer, you can either fix your bugs or play games. You would rather fix the bugs so that you will benefit in the long term that way, rather than trying to use your time to play games, right? Yeah, this is the one goal of human life. Yeah. Yeah. So this we understood already. We discussed. Yeah, we are, we are in a dream body in the night, which is basically we are aware of only subtle body in the night. In the daytime, we are aware of gross body primarily. Hmm? So we discussed that. Yeah. Yeah, if you can list down your desires in life, for example, you can write down all your desires, what you have, right? Um, so obviously you will not be able to fulfill all your desires in life. What happens is these desires that are stored in your mind will continue to come with you in your next body. So that's the problem of uh, contaminated mind, or mind filled with material desires. Spiritual desires, no problem. But if your mind is filled with material desires, I still want to get on to the top of Everest, for example. You have a desire like that, or you want to become a CEO of a company, or just to fulfill the desire, you may again have to start from zero after this lifetime. So, ideal life is we end our life by the time we do not carry any material desires. Then you achieve perfection of life, which is liberation, right? We don't need to come back to this world again, right? So that's called liberation. Yeah. As long as we have unfulfilled desires in mind, we take body after body. We keep taking the new physical bodies in this world. So this is called, samsara sagara. Samsara sagara means an ocean of material existence, continued existence. The core reason for that is unfulfilled desires in the mind. Because you have desired certain things, God will provide you a physical body where you can enjoy and fulfill those desires. Hmm? So to fulfill the desire, we need physical body. So why do we have physical body? Mainly to fulfill the desires that are there in your mind. Yeah. Gross body is lost with physical death, and subtle body is completely nullified when one achieves liberation. So that's the difference. So both are temporary, just that the subtle body is with you for many, many millions of lifetimes. Gross body changes every lifetime. That's the only difference. Yeah. The desires in your subtle body define your next gross body, because if suppose you have certain desires to eat certain things, you were, based on your karma, it's called karmana daivanetrena, under the supervision of the divine eye, one gets the next physical body. Hmm? So that is how it works. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Now we can have some question and answers, and then we can again go back to the content. Yes, Mudra, you want to ask?
Prabhuji, you just mentioned that under the eyes of like divine, like under the supervision of divine eyes, we will get a new body. So that is based on the desires that we have, so we can accomplish those desires.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So we,
And
again, it's not that we have certain desire and we get the, for example, I desire to become president of America in my
mm,
next life, for example.
mm,
It's not that my desire is sufficient to fulfill my, or give a, get a body that would fulfill in the next lifetime. I need to have sufficient karma for that.
mm,
Whatever karma you have accumulated in this life, that would be sufficient for your fulfilling a certain quota of desires in your mind. So you will come out with, so that you can exhaust your karma accordingly, right? For example, I'll tell you the story. No, I think I told this. Did I tell the story of Dhritarashtra last week? Right?
mm,
Yeah. So Dhritarashtra had to spend many, many lifetimes so that he can get the punya, he can accumulate the punya so that he can get 100 kids. But unfortunately, at the end of it, again, he has to lose the body, right? He has to lose all his children. because his past negative karma is so bad.
Mhm.
So that's how karma works. Good or bad karma, both are actually bad. There is nothing good.
Mm.
Right. Yeah.
And Prabhuji, what are some of the examples of spiritual desires? And do spiritual desires also lead to rebirth?
Okay, good question. Yeah, spiritual desires are on the level of the soul, right? So now we should understand what are the activities of the soul. Hmm? So any activity, for example, one second. Yeah. For example, the soul desiring to serve the super soul or the Paramatma is a spiritual desire, because you are a soul and you want to serve Paramatma or the Bhagavan or Lord Krishna, because both are spiritual in nature and one trying to please the other, serve the other, because that's the constitutional position of the soul, then that becomes spiritual. Any desires that are, you know, shreyas or the long term, which are in line with our spiritual nature, those are all spiritual desires. You want to, for example, serve the Lord in the temple, that's a spiritual desire. You want to teach Bhagavad Gita, that's a spiritual desire or spiritual activity, right? Or you are planning to build a beautiful temple to serve Lord, that's a spiritual desire. So like that, or you want to raise your children spiritually, that's a spiritual desire. So anything that is, at the spirit level or the soul level, those are all spiritual desires. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Now, anything at the bodily level, for example, you want to get to a position of a director at your company. That's your goal. That's a bodily desire, because the position itself is temporary, right? You want to become a CEO. You want to eat certain thing. That's a material desire. Yeah, material desires we all know. Like we all have so many material desires naturally, right? You want to enjoy in certain ways, certain things. Those are all material desires. But understand that all the material desires are temporary, right? Whatever you get, you will never be satisfied, right? So, for example, all our life we have only desired, okay, if only I can get, master's degree from America, I'll be so happy. But then again, you need to get the job. If only I can get a good job, you get a good job. And then if I can get married, if only, so you always have certain, all these desires. Once you get them, you don't feel so much about it, frankly. You're okay, but it doesn't keep you happy forever, because they're all temporary happinesses. It's not wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong, but they are all at the bodily level. And they are needed. I mean, it's not like you will be fine without a job in this world. So that's a requirement. That's fine. But understand what is spiritual, what is material. Yeah.
And one quick follow up. So, spiritual desires do not lead to reincarnation or rebirth, right? Or do they?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Spiritual desires make you eligible to serve you, basically you are given a body to fulfill your desires, right? If your mind is fully filled with spiritual desires to serve the Lord, then why do you have to, come back to this material world where you have to deal with the material energy? You can better be given spiritual body and let you live in the spiritual realm where everything is eternal, and you can directly serve the Supreme Lord, right? So, based on our desires, we'll be given body. Hmm?
Hmm.
Hmm. So, Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Antakale cha mam eva smaran mukta kalevaram. One who remembers me at the time of death and leaves his body, he will directly come to me. So in this, there is no doubt, he says, right? So, Krishna himself declares, right? And then whoever worships, for example, somebody is worshipping certain demigod, they will be sent accordingly, right? And those who are attached to this material world, they will be, sent back to this material world. So based on our eligibility and desires, we'll be given certain physical body in our next life. Yeah. Any other questions? Yeah. So in this world, we feel sad or happy because of what we identify with. For example, you bought a new bench car and the car was parked and somebody hit it. When somebody hit it, immediately your heart breaks. The reason is you are attached to the car. You get close to the car and you realize that it's actually not your car, somebody else's car. Same color, everything is same. But you saw the number is different. Then you feel relieved. All the pain that you felt, in like 1 second, it will be gone. Right? The reason is you are attached to the object. When that identification is there, you feel the pain. When you don't identify with your objects of this world or with your own physical body, any pain in the physical body or in the objects of your body will not give you any pain. Yeah. And one thing we should understand is you see many of you keep nail polish, right? You all are aware of that. And if suppose the nail is cut, if the nail is cut and still the polish is there on the nail, will you keep it with you or throw it? Immediately we throw it. It has no value. As soon as it is cut from your physical body, it has no value. Anything. People spend hours and hours trying to get different haircuts. You see the picture there? You see the special haircut there? But as soon as one hair falls in your food, will you keep it? Just throw the food along with the hair. You don't want to, entertain that in your food. As soon as the hair is detached from your body, it has zero value. You don't even though you spend so much money trying to, comb your hair or get your nice haircut, put many oils, spend so much time in making it great. As soon as it is detached from the body, it will directly go to the dustbin. It won't have any value. So similarly, look at our physical body. As long as we are in the, in this physical body, the soul is in the physical body, everybody inquires, all the relatives inquire, how are you? How is your health? Are you doing okay? But as soon as the soul leaves the body, what do? Immediately take the burial ground. They won't keep it anymore. They are worried, it will sting. Even your own wife or, a husband or whoever, doesn't matter. We immediately take, within 1 day, we take the body, because once the soul leaves the body has no value. Yeah, just like hair. As soon as the hair comes out of body, it has no value. So when we value a person's, the physical body, actually we are valuing who? The soul or the body? Yeah, huh? Yeah. Somebody, suppose, there is a person, very beautiful, a great hero, right? You value him as long as his body is animate. But as soon as he is dead, people easily forget in no time, right? So actually we are valuing what? The soul or the body? Yeah. We're actually valuing the soul. Or the actual person. Because as soon as the body is off, Sridevi is, great actor. Everybody want to talk to her when she was alive. But as soon as the soul left the body, it has to be taken to the burial ground. Nobody want to see her like before. It's not the same. So our body has value only when it is having the soul within, right? So in a way, the soul is the real object or the real thing. And even though we see our parents, we love them, it's only the soul within them that we actually value, right? Yeah. So understand that aspect, right? So it's the soul that really is valuable in our life. Hmm. Now let's discuss a few tricks mind does, right? Sometimes we feel, oh, I'm not ready, I'm not prepared. I may not be able to compete in this competition. Where is it coming from? Mind or intelligence? All this negative thinking, where does it come from? Mind, yeah. Mind tricks us in many times in our life. It is the one which discourages us. When you feel discouragement, where is it coming from? Mind, right? So what exactly do you need in those circumstances? You need stronger intelligence, right? When you now, of course, everybody will fail in life. It's not like nobody. For example, you attended an interview, you failed. Mind will think you are useless. You're always like this. You always spoil at the last minute at the main time, right? Mind will trick you like that. But with intelligence, you know what were the questions. When intelligence comes into play, then you will start thinking, what did I make mistake? What is the area I need to strengthen? What are my weaknesses? You start thinking about what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, so that you are prepared better next time. So that is the function of intelligence. You see, when our life is dominated by mind, we go emotional in life. When our life is dominated by intelligence, we will be, what is the emotional's opposite? Rational, right? So we'll be rational when our intelligence is strong. And Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge that we learned so far about body, subtle body, gross body, mind, intelligence, ego, helps to strengthen our intelligence. Then we can actually act with right intelligence. Mind tricks us to do wrong things many times because it doesn't foresee what will come, what will happen. Sometimes children copy from the cell phone or from the neighbor, right? It is actually who is pushing them to do that? Mind. Mind is why mind is pleasure seeking. Immediately, just get that thing done. But intelligence tells, hey, if you get caught, you will be debarred, you get 0 marks. Then intelligence is playing the role. So you should understand who is functioning, at any time in your life. Many times, mind is the one that drags you, depresses you, makes you feel negative, unenthusiastic, do wrong things because it pleasure seeks. So we need to strengthen our intelligence. That's the key lesson. So recently, what happened in just 3 years ago, there was this Telangana state in India, in southern India. There was a board exam, and thousands and thousands of people have written the exam, 10th class. The board exam result came, and there was some software error, and thousands of people got 0 score in couple of subjects. You know what happened? And especially those who are very bright students in the schools, at least 30 people suicided. 30 people went for suicide. They felt bad, they got depressed, they didn't have a good sleep overnight, and the next day they're They went for suicide. And it was later on, the paper was, called for recorrection. And all these guys who died, they all got 99 or 100. They're like absolute scorers. But because mind, they fell for as a victim for the mind's weakness. So understand, mind can play such a tricky role in our life. If mind is weak, we can be tricked very badly, right? So mind will make you do wrong things, and people in their impulsive mood, they threw suicide on, they threw acid on people, and for their lifetime they are in the jail. In a fit of anger, people act. Why? Mind is weak. So now we understand how, the mind can trick us very badly. Yeah. Yeah. So now we already discussed this: gross body, subtle body, mind, intelligence. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. So many times mind wants things which is not good for the soul, right? Because most of the material desires are, are going to, are like quick desires to give quick happiness, right? They're not good for the long term, right? For example, somebody wants to try cigarette. It is just an impulsive desire. They saw their friends do it. Maybe it is, fashion. Let's try it, and they get addicted. And for their lifetime, they will suffer with that, bad desire. So we have to be careful. When mind is distracted, we have to be very careful. What it is after, so that we don't fall victim to the mind's desires. The only way to get out of it is mind has to be under the control of intelligence. When the order of control is like this, right? I told you, in the uncontrolled mind, the desire, the sense objects pull the senses, senses are pulled by the, senses pull the mind, mind will drag the intelligence, intelligence will drag the soul, and everybody goes to hell, right? In the right order of control, the soul is completely in control because it practices spiritual process, it practices meditation. Soul is, guided by the intelligence. Soul is in full in charge, and it has very strong intelligence. It knows what is right, what is wrong very clearly. And then that intelligence will never let mind to play games. The strong intelligence will control the mind. Mind will stop senses to drag it, right? So in this way, the order of control has to be reversed. And that will happen only when we cleanse our mind through spiritual practices. Without cleaning the mind, the order of control will be always starting from the sense objects. Yeah. So a lot of people get into this kind of question. Why spirituality in youth? No? When we become old, we can actually, we can enjoy. Right now, we should enjoy. This is the time to enjoy. But the problem is, we don't know how long we'll live in this world. Tomorrow could be our last day. We don't know. We can die anytime. So we have to use every moment to bring us closer to God, right? So that's how we should lead our life. Mind always seeks quick pleasures. Yeah. So there is a great example given in the scriptures on the order of control. You can see the horse here, the picture of horses in a chariot. So each of these horses represent various senses, right? There is eye, there is nose, there is tongue, through which we gather information from this world, right? Mind is the ropes that control the senses, right? Mind is like the rope. And the driver is the intelligence. and the soul is the passenger. You see the bewildered soul. Here, the horses are dragged in various directions, attracted by various sense objects. So the ropes are not able to control the horses. So the intelligence is weak, so it is going in various directions. It's not able to fix its destination. And so the soul is bewildered because it's not reaching its destination. But suppose if the intelligence is strong, it controls the ropes very strongly and directs the horses in the right way, then anything can be achieved in life, right? Yeah. So that's the example. That's the example, right? Very close example for us. Yeah. Yeah, so there is another name for mind, intelligence, ego. That's called in antakarana. Yeah. Yeah. So it's only one object, but based on what it does, its function, we segregate by, call it as ahankar when it identifies with the body, subtle body. When it makes decision, it's called intelligence. When it's primarily in thinking, feeling, willing, right? So that's called mind. Yeah. So that's all. We covered this content fully now. We'll start the next topic next week. Any questions, comments?
Prabhuji, are those your notes or something? The PDF?
Yeah, I will share the notes with you all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share the notes so you can revise it whenever you have time. The only problem with the notes is it has a lot of spelling mistakes. It's like rough notes by someone. Yeah. I may give you because I only have PDF of it. It was prepared by my mentor. Probably a student of my mentor.
Mhm.
I will ask him to get it corrected, but meanwhile I'll just share whatever I have.
Yeah, that is fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Is the subject content is very clear now? How subtle body works, how gross body works, how the soul is tricked by various things, what is prominent at any time, like is it mind or is it intelligence, right? How mind is pleasure seeking while intelligence is rational. All these concepts are clear.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. Any other questions? Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah. So one other thing, we will, we going forward, we'll have two classes. One is Discover Yourself, and the second is Bhagavad Gita. We will, of course, we'll study the philosophy and also we'll study some verses together, right? Would you all want to move to the Gita classes? I mean, which is right now we are doing that as well, but we'll also add verses in the near future, right? Right. So we will create a separate group for you all who are ready for Gita classes, WhatsApp group, and then we'll communicate.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that will be a systematic study of Bhagavad Gita. You learn the philosophy thoroughly. Like today, we learned about how, the whole body works. So you learn the philosophy and then shlokas as well, So by the end of the course, you are fully clear how life works, what is the purpose of life, how to lead a meaningful and purposeful life. These concepts are very, very powerful. And the other thing is you have to also do practice. Knowledge and practice will give realization, right? Practice is chanting the holy name, right? That's the easiest method for purifying the mind in this world. So we'll discuss those as well in the future classes, how to practice meditation and then spiritually grow, right? Yeah. So if you have any other friends who are, interested in Bhagavad Gita directly, let us know. We'll add them to the group. Okay. Yeah. Any other discussions? Oh, next week, not next week. Next Friday, we have the special program. I shared the pamphlet in the group, in the WhatsApp group. I hope all of you are in the WhatsApp group, correct? Monica, you are there in the WhatsApp group?
जी प्रभु जी.
Anindita, were you there too?
जी प्रभु जी.
Spandana, are you there too?
Yeah, I am on the group too.
Okay. Yeah, if you have, very good friends, satsang, like good friends, please invite them. This is great knowledge. This will change our life, our thinking, and our outlook for life completely changes. So we just started now. So we'll go, along. And next time, we'll have more programs when Prabhuji comes. Radhesham Prabhu, he does, retreats as well, do focused sessions with where he will discuss, like they'll do kind of interactive sessions, very, you learn the content very thoroughly, right? Yeah. So please join one way or the other this coming Friday. I hope you have seen the pamphlet already. We'll send again. In person in Seattle, university campus. We shared the address. So please join us there. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So we'll end the class here for today. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Hare Krishna.